This is for Kids Club for September 17th. The video will be at 6:30, and this topic is going to be pipe cleaners, and we're going to do all kinds of fun things with pipe cleaners. So the first thing, you have your bag like this, and you can go ahead and open that up, and then inside you have some instructions with some good pictures on there. You have a piece of plastic with holes in it like this, quite a few pipe cleaners, a little bag of beads, and a piece of styrofoam. So the first thing you're going to do, we're going to work on this project here. And this one is going to be kind of a weaving project, kind of like something like this. And you don't have to make flowers or anything that you can even tell what it is. It can be abstract, and it can be whatever you want it to be. It doesn't have to look like anything. I do have another example of one that's a little bit bigger that I have done. It's just a seascape, so you can do different kinds of landscapes. You can do whatever you want with the color pipe cleaners you have. If you have more pipe cleaners at home, this is a great project to use them on. Sometimes it's hard to find things to do with those. So the first thing you're going to do is you really want to make sure that you save at least 6 pipe cleaners for this project. You can save more than that if you want, but just keep that in mind that you don't want to use them all on your first project. So the first thing to do, you have some pipe cleaners in here. You've got some thin ones like this, and some thicker ones like these. So you can kind of decide which ones you want to do. You can see the thin ones I've used on some of my stems, and some of the flowers even. And the thicker ones, you know, they just fill up more space. So you can kind of use them to make a nice design. Otherwise, you're gonna kind of decide what you want it to look like. And it doesn't have to look like anything. And then you're gonna want to kind of weave your pipe cleaner. So start with putting a pipe cleaner through one of the holes, and you can bring the other end through, and you're going to pull it all the way through. Now sometimes these like to get pinched and kind of bunched up here, so make sure it's kind of going through straight like that. And you're going to need a pair of scissors so that you can kind of snip these off if you want. And then just twist that end around the back. You don't have to have this much, but I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. Just kind of twist it, and so now that way it's secured to this board. And now you can take the long end and finish weaving. Now you don't have to go in every single spot. You can see on here when I did some of the stems, I did longer sections. So maybe I will skip 3 or 4. And you don't even have to go in a straight line. You can make your stems kind of twisty like this if you want to do flowers or whatever else you're working on. And then I do on the back like to just do one spot like this. So that way I'm not wasting a bunch of pipe cleaner on the back, because we're not really going to be able to see the back very well. So just kind of keep weaving until you get something you like. Making sure it doesn't get pinched. It likes to get pinched in there, so you kind of have to pull. And then once you kind of get it through, you can use a pair of scissors. Say that's all the longer I want this one to be, and I want to save the rest of this pipe cleaner. So I'm going to chop it off and then just fold it down over on the back, and it will stay on there pretty nicely. So now I have a little stem, and if you want to choose a different color, I like the flowers. I like to show you the flowers because it kind of shows you the different things that you can do. I'm going to bring it through so that I have something to kind of attach on the back. Remember how you twist it. But one thing you can do is, on this part here, you can leave a little bit of it sticking out so that you don't have to weave it all the way through. So say you want a petal that looks kind of like that. So you can do that kind of thing too. There's a lot of different options. You can twist them together like this, like I did on this one, and pull those through. You can do a whole area of solid color. Just be creative. You can even add beads. You can kind of see here that I took a bead and I added that for the center of my flower. You can go ahead and even do those kind of things. So just be creative. It can be abstract, whatever you like. You can go ahead and do that part now. All right, for our second craft, we're going to make kind of a sculpture. Something like this. Yours is going to look completely different, and that's great. This is kind of one of those projects where it's just fun to create the process and kind of do all of that. I kind of like to imagine that this is like a roller coaster or something, and maybe some kind of fun roller coaster ride and what it would look like, but you can do whatever you want. I saved some pipe cleaners for my first project. And you might have a lot left over and you might have only a few left over. So kind of keep that in mind. Then you have a little bag of beads. So you can use some of these beads on that first project, but most of them will go into this project. And there are some big wooden beads in here, and there are some buttons in here too, and then some pony beads. So the buttons are kind of fun. You can see I've used them kind of on the flat part here. They don't even have to go right next to the styrofoam. They can go in the middle somewhere. But you can push a pipe cleaner through all of this stuff here that I gave you. So the first thing to do is kind of, this stuff just sticks right into the foam. You don't have to worry about gluing it or anything like that. And then you can put on whatever kind of beads you want. You can put a lot on one of them, or you can put just a few, and you don't even have to use the beads on this project if you don't want to. So this is kind of sculpture. You got to kind of think about being able to see it from all sides. So if you're going to walk around your sculpture and look at all different sides, kind of keep that in mind. The only place you're not going to have anything is on the bottom. So you can push things into the side like this. You can bend your pipe cleaners too. They don't have to be round. You can bend them and put different angles in there. You can even take your finger or a pen or a marker, and you can make curlicues like this. And you can push different, put different things down and push through, and this will hold like a button on, like that. You can cut smaller pieces. So maybe you want to do something like this. And you don't even have to make something that's abstract. Maybe you want to make a face out of this, or try and make something that you can actually tell what it is. You can use buttons for eyes or whatever you want. And this is kind of a fun sculpture because you can take these out and play with it and change things around whenever you want to. You can kind of move stuff around. You can even do put pipe cleaners through other pipe cleaners like this. You can have them sticking up really high in the air, kind of like this one. You can do whatever you want, little spikes. You don't even have to have one end sticking in. Maybe if you're doing something that has hair, you can just do little ones like this. So be creative. Do whatever you want on this one. Use up the rest of your pipe cleaners. If you have other things at home that you can stick in here, or other buttons or beads that you can use, go ahead and find things that you can make, that you can use with this, because you can always take them off later. So have fun, be creative, and we'll see you next month.